So therefore, white means the transition between African people and the yellow color. Now, what does the yellow color represent?
Amerindian.
It symbolizes, it represents the Amerindian people, the Arawak, Carib, that existed before the arrival of our African ancestor. These are the people who existed in this continent. You know? Therefore, this is the people that embrace our African ancestry, you know, and they became one. And that's what formed the Garifuna people today, you know. And you have any doubt of that? Analyze our language. The language that we speak today is mostly Amerindian than African, you know. But our skin is mostly African than Amerindian. So, you know, there's a balance. You cannot deny everything that is said in this. Okay, and I guess...
Beautiful, beautiful.
Almost done.
No, not yet.
Okay.
And the way we were taught, we have to, the way I taught, I was taught and the way I teach, right? The same thing comes where the yellow stands for hope, prosperity, the white stands for peace, and we need to look at reality because the black, it stands for our African heritage, and also 300 years of darkness that the Carib struggled.
That's what black means?
That's what that's what I'm taught by Mr.
So they're representing darkness in the black, but darkness not because of the color, but darkness because something negative that happened in history.
And then 300, like I said, 300 years that we struggled, first with the Spaniards, then with the French, then with the British, until 1795, where our chief of chief, Joseph Chatwell, was assassinated the 14th day of March. 2 years after, 5,080 of the black Caribs and yellow Caribs were gathered by the British and exiled on the mine camp called
That's represented in the yellow drops, you know, and the red drops. The eye drops represent all that.
But then the yellow Caribs were taken back to St. Vincent, and only the black Caribs sat on Balisau, and they stood there for 6 months, from October 25th, 1796 to February 25th, 1797. On the 10th day of March, the ships arrived, and because of exposure, because of malnutrition, because of disease, 2,500 of the black Carib died, and the 2,580 remained were placed on a British ship and were set off to Rotan, Honduras.
How many ships?
How many British ships? Set off to Rotan, Honduras, and the journey took 1 month, with one week stay at Jamaica for refueling and food. And they arrived at Rotan, Honduras, the 12th of April, 1797. Within that arrival, 300 of the black Caribs died during that journey. So the arrival was only 2,280 black Caribs that arrived in Rotan, Honduras. 5 years after, which is 1802, the first set of Garifuna black Caribs went to Belize. Between 1823 and 1832, under the leadership of Alejo Beni, after fleeing the massacre of Francisco Moiserang Army of Honduras, 150 Garifuna children, women, and men, led by Alejo Beni, went to Belize and settled down Riga town. They arrived the 19th of November, 1832. And 1940, Thomas Vincent Ramos, along with Patalion Hernandez and Domingo Ventura, approached the British colony in order to get 19th of November, which was known then as the Carib Disembarkation Day, known now as the Garifuna Settlement Day, to be a public and bank holiday. It was granted to them. It was first celebrated in Dangriga in 1941. In 1943, it moved deeper south to Punta Gorda town, and in 1977, along with the Pan-American holiday, which was only celebrated in the northern part of Belize, Corozal and Orindua became a public and bank holiday to the country of Belize. The year of the Obey.
Okay, that's the history of the Garifuna people.
Okay.
Thanks. Remy. Yeah.
But I think what we have to do, we have to define ourselves who we are at this present time. Because what happened in the past, the English and the other colonizers, they tried to divide and conquer us. And today we have to define who we are. They give us names, and those names were to conquer us and to divide us from ourselves. So now that we are much more aware, we can define who we are. And I think that's what's important. That's what we're trying to do right now. As one nation, as one entity.
Yeah, interesting.
Because I don't want to believe that I was saying we were teaching the wrong thing in Belize. So that's the reason why I bring that across. But what I was
I think with anything, we have to respect the first people who designed the flag as well, which was Thomas Vincent Roberts and the Dominican Police. And when they did originally design the flag, because prior to that we didn't have a flag. So when they designed the flag, this is what they, represented the flag as. So we always have to respect those people before us. Like the people who first did the Garifuna dictionary, we have to respect them and give honor to all of the things that they left for us. And yes, we may be advancing in society now, but we can't forget, those originals, the ones who created the flag from the first place. And what Jeremy would have to.
I agree 100%. Okay. I think we have, we agree with that because the colors were defined. There's nothing, and no one can change the color of the Garifuna flag. The only thing that I observed in 1992 and prior to those years, the Garifuna flag was not used in an order manner. It was used even in Belize. Some people use it with the black on top, some people use it with the black at bottom. And then Guatemala the same, Honduras the same. So in the United States too, there is no order defined. There was not a flag that had been issued throughout the Garifuna nation in order for us to unify the use of the flag. Otherwise, there will have no need for the enhancement. What I did was just enhance the Garifuna flag and try to standardize the use of it. So wherever we wave our flag, people say, oh, that's the Garifuna flag. Now, I did not know that there was an intention to make a Honduran Garifuna flag, a Belizean Garifuna flag, a Nicaragua Garifuna flag, maybe a Yurumin Garifuna flag, and the US Garifuna flag, which just will tend to divide us further. Yes, brother.
I don't think that's, I did not understand that to be the intention of the comments that have been made. And I will start with what Cheryl said, and you and I have had this interchange through email. And I believe that we have to honor those that came before us. Because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. And I like to believe that whatever I'm doing now is a continuation of those that came before me. So therefore, I like to give credit where credit is due. And what Cheryl said, and what my brother said up there, that's my position. Yeah. The first description of the Garifuna flag that I ever read was actually what the National Garifuna Council published. That was it. In the first description, it was actually reading about Thomas Vincent Ramos. And so we're not saying, I don't think the intent is to say there's a Garifuna flag for every nation, but the fact is that there has been a Garifuna flag that was defined way before any of us came into this world. And we have to recognize that, and we have to respect it. And I'm not taking away with your suggestions and what you're proposing, but we have to acknowledge that. And again, well, the first flag I ever saw, because honestly, I was born in Honduras. I never heard about the Garifuna flag in Honduras. And it was eventually when I started reading with the National Garifuna Council and Roy Cayetano and all of them there. So, and as a matter of fact, again, because the discussion that you and I had was in reference to the colors. Because I said, the first description that I read was what's in the National Garifuna Council website, what was written by the National Garifuna Council to Roy Cayetano. So I tend to agree with that. We have to start from there. If we want to improve it, well, that's fine. Now, that is fine. But again, we have to respect what's there and accept that that is the Garifuna flag. I have a concern because nowadays everything is, I mean, I can tell everyone, if you're not on the web, you don't exist. Period. And my concern is that up until a few months ago, the only flag that I ever saw was yellow, white, and black. And I know there has been a correction made lately reflecting this flag. But again, it's not the idea of creating a separate flag. And I understand what the brother is saying because really that's the logo of the National Garifuna Council.
Yeah.
That's what they put on the flag. And that's what they explain. So we have to understand that. It's not that they're creating a Belizean flag, it's just that the National Garifuna Council put their logo
True.
on the flag.
Good point.
That's really what it is. So it's not creating different nationalities. But I stand by what Cheryl said, that we have to accept. I mean, Thomas Benson Ramos did this in 1941. I wasn't even born when all of this was created. So who am I to change what their intentions was? And again, with all due respect, with all due respect, we have to accept the fact that those that came before us created a Garifuna flag. And if we wanted to enhance it, okay, fine, let's consult with all of them, but let's recognize.
There
let's
you go.
give credit where credit is due. That's my observation.
And to tag along, basically, I agree with what you're saying, and also wanted to add the fact that as a nation, and as spread out as Garinago are from Nicaragua all the way to Belize, I think that since there was not this type of communication like we have it today, everybody created their own version of the flag, and it's okay. But I think consensus needs to be, this flag needs to be addressed so that to make one universal Garifuna flag. And you know, we could talk about it all day, but we all believe that, don't we?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. I think that, we evolve as time goes on. For the American flag, they had 13 colonies, and then it adds stars, it modifies as time goes on. So I think it's in the same vein that we are doing modification additions. There were 13 colonies, 13 stars and stripes, 30 stars. But as time goes on, we have different states, and then